I live in New York. Mother Nature does not play when it comes to New York summer. She likes to combine the heat with the humidity. It sucks. This is for my skin. I don't go for something that is super full coverage. I've been talking about the same two primers for years, and that's how you know these are good. So Hydro Grip Primer by Milk. This is like my everyday primer because even though it's tacky, it's not extremely strong where it could end up congesting my pores if I wore it every single day. If I needed a crazy hold, like I'm going to a rave or a festival or to the beach or whatever it is, I'm gonna reach for the Dermablend Jelly Grip Primer. This is this at a higher level. The texture is pretty much the same, but it's thicker and it's stickier, so I don't use this every single day. It's like a layer over your pores, and I think when you just do that too much, you can kind of start congesting your pores a little bit. I do about this much, and I just focus on the center area of my face, like right here, on my nose and on my T-zone. This kind of primer, you need to let it sit for just a little bit so that it gets a little bit tacky. So while I do that, I go in with my brows. This is Patrick Ta Brow Lamination Gel. Wherever you put your brows, it's gonna stay on there all day. If you need something that's going to give you some color or fill in your brows or thicken your brows, Milk came out with this Kush High Roll Brow Tint Gel, which is a tubing brow gel. If you've heard of tubing mascara, it's when it gets wet, it just slides off. This is the same thing but for your brows, but it also gives you the same hold that this is going to give you. The way that I use it, I go for lighter colors because I'm also going for the hold. So if I use a dark color and I go in for that hold, it's too dark for my face. It's too filled in and too dark. If you have a lot of brow hairs, maybe you don't need to go with such a dark tone unless you want that boldness. If you just need to fill in certain areas, Pen by Undone Beauty that has a gel on one side and it has a pen on the other side that I also use as eyeliner. And then this Brow Blade by Urban Decay, which is a pen and then a liner, which is also really good for filling in and drawing in those fake hair strokes. These two are also good options. Because I'm going for natural, I'm using a brown mascara. Thrive Cosmetic Liquid Lash Extension. I've been using this for years. Tubing mascaras are honestly the best because they will not budge, they will not flake, they will not smudge. I mean, if you're using like really oily products around your eyes, sometimes the color can cause a little bit of transfer, but I've never had issues with tubing mascaras. I do perm my own lashes, so they're already lifted and I don't need to curl them. I find that the best way to keep them sticking up, as someone who has really straight lashes, I finish the rest of my face to let the mascara really dry on my lashes, and then I do setting spray because I think it kind of like acts like a glue to your lashes, and then once that's dry, I go in with the curler and it just holds really, really well. And I make sure that everything is dry so that it doesn't damage my lashes. Now, this is the most important part, the complexion part, right? I have a few options here that I tend to rotate around because let's say for most days, I'm using this more of a cream concealer. If I go for this every single day, because this is more creamy, I find that it can start clogging and causing a little bit of milia for me. And so some other days I'll go for something that tends to dry down and it's not so creamy. For no makeup, I think that using a neutralizer gives you a really good natural coverage without looking like you're wearing concealer. And this neutralizer is by Jones Road. I really like it. I don't set it with a powder, but it is a creamier product. I use this Jones Road Neutralizer Pencil in Light Peach, and I'm gonna do one on one side and my other options on the other side so you guys can see. I have more of like a purplish tint, but I find that the Light Peach just works really, really well for me. So I literally use about that much, and you could already see it looks like my skin. And some people, they'll use this under concealer, but I like to use this alone. I only use a little bit of product. Truly with concealer, less is more. You see the difference of before and after? It literally looks so natural. Because I also do have eye bags, I like to go in with a little bit of concealer where I tend to have that shadow. So for me, that shadow is right here. So I literally just that much go in with a small brush where I can concentrate the concealer more. And this was a little bit too much, so I'm gonna rub some off in the back of my hand, blending it but not removing it from the area because I don't want to cover this whole area. I only want to really get the shadow here, and what I'm blending the outside is so that it blends seamlessly to what we put under. Once I do that, the eye bag is gone. But I really like this because this also is self-setting. It dries on its own. I really don't have problems with this creasing very much. I don't powder it. That's it for concealer in that area. Now, my other option that I've been loving, using a complexion product, but even as my concealer. So I've been using this Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. This is a really good foundation. It's medium coverage, but you could use it to give you a light coverage. I think you could even build it up. It's really good with humidity because it's self-setting. It's like a serum, so it has niacinamide, which is good for your skin. It's gonna give you that coverage. It's, again, waterproof. It absorbs like oil and sweat. A little bit of this. Because this is a foundation, I'm not trying to put foundation all over my face. I've only been using little by little. This is in shade number 7. So I'm going under my eye here. I've been keeping on the center area of my face. I'm using this more like a tint. And a little bit just on the center of my forehead right here. This is a matte coverage, which is why it's gonna absorb any greasiness. This product does dry down fast though, so you gotta work kind of quickly. Same thing, I'm gonna just Really lightly put a little bit right here. I like to put a little on the tip of my nose to give that highlight because we're gonna still contour and stuff later. So same thing to cover shadow. Looks great, looks even. Amazing. Another option, if you need something that's more full coverage or you need something that really absorbs sweat and like will not budge, right? Like let's say you're going to a festival again. This Tur, I know if you go on TikTok, this blew up, but it's been popular for a really long time. This is a Korean foundation. This, you gotta be light-handed. If you're not light-handed, this is gonna give you that like porcelain, like full coverage. This actually stays on for a really, really long time. I only use a really light layer on this area, but I don't do it every day because of how strong this holds. The next step I use is this pencil. Do this every single makeup tutorial. Right here, I contour my cupid's bow because this is gonna pout your lip. V right there. Really light line in the center. And it's gonna emphasize this right here. This gives my lip like a little bit of a little pout. And then I go in the corners and just follow my lip line and lift the corners of my mouth. And this just extends the length of my mouth. It kind of just gives me a really nice pout. And then really lightly, I like to go into the inner corner of my eye right here. And what this does is it gives you a bit of a cat eye and it pulls your eyes in and it gives that sultry look. And then the aegyoshar, I just do a tiny bit right there. This is not for everybody, honestly. Like, I don't think this suits every single person because it gives you that smiling look without you actually smiling. If you don't know what aegyoshar is, it's a Korean word. Aegyo is like a cuteness. Har is like fat. So it's this right here. Some people do have this. A lot of Asians have this. It's a little jelly roll right here. It's not eye bags. My eye bags are down here. This is my aegyoshar. So adding that shadow, it just looks like your eyes are smiling without you actually smiling. And then we're gonna accentuate it even more and brightening our eyes even more by highlighting. This is my all-time favorite eyeshadow by KVD. They discontinued it, I think. I don't know why, but NYX has one that's kind of similar to this. It shifts from white to light pink, which I really like. It doesn't shift into pink. It's like a pearl. But I use a white highlighter and I go in the center of my nose right here. And then right above the shadow that I created, I'm gonna put this right above that contour line. If it helps to smile, smile. Hopefully you can see how it just like accentuates that even more. And then I go in some of this in the inner corner because obviously this just opens up your eyes and it brightens everything up. Just make sure you blend everything. Make sure it looks seamless. So now we're gonna do a little bronzing. I haven't really been contouring, but I've been bronzing. I've received a lot of cream contour products and I always just kind of go back to this one. Jones Road also has one that I really like, but this, I think because it dries down, it's a little more suited for the super humid weather. It smells so good, but it dries down and it just looks so good. It blends beautifully too. So even if I use a little bit too much, it's just so easy to blend out. It's like it turns into a powder. You see that? And I think bronzing, especially in the summertime, it just warms up your entire face. It makes you look like you're glowing. I focus on the outside areas of my face, like even on my cheekbones. I'm trying to bring in my face, so I focus on this entire outer area of my face. So I go under my chin, the jawline, and then I go a little bit with this on the center of my nose right here. It balances everything together, shrinks your nose. You got a nice time under the sun, and I just love it. Before we do blush and everything else, we're gonna use a setting powder. If you use a setting powder before you use powder, it can help hold on to it even more. So different setting sprays that I love. Charlotte Tilbury airbrush. This really gives you like an airbrush finish. She is expensive, but she's good, and your makeup really does stay on. This is a staple. This has been around for years, and it's good because it's good. This is the All Nighter Spray by Urban Decay. This is new. It's the All Nighter, but it's more hydrating. Hyaluronic acid and watermelon fruit extract. It does have a hold, but it does give you more of a dewiness and hydration. So on days that I'm using like this technique with the cream concealer, I tend to reach for these more. But on days that I'm using a more self-setting, or if my skin is feeling dry, or something that's gonna be super matte, I tend to go for more hydration. So today I'm gonna go for this one. Just a light spritz. And we're gonna spray again after, and then you can always follow up with a different spray, and then I'm gonna just let it dry a little bit, not completely. So because this is more of a natural look, I'm going for a more natural blush color. This is Honeysuckle by KVD. I love this color. And I'm gonna follow with this Sephora 99 brush. Up here, gives you a bit of that sun-kissed look. Down here, above the Cupid's bow. I'm gonna go on top of where I put that bronzer on my nose. Blend it out like this. Focus it on the center, and then blend it out. Blend out, blend out, blend out. So I don't go straight with blush and just place it right here because I don't want all the color here. It's also going on my under eye a little bit. So same thing here. I love to mix blush colors. Another really good blush, if you only want to invest in one product, especially for the summertime, is this, the Jelly Tint by Milk. This for the summertime is so perfect because there's no product in it. There's no oiliness or cream. It's just straight tint. And so this holds really, really well, especially in these humid weather where you don't want, you know, like product on your face. This is in the shade Spritz. It's my favorite one. I go a little on my center of my lip, bring it a little above my Cupid's bow. I use a brush for the blush. Once you put it on an area, it's kind of hard to blend out. And I focus it right on the middle of my nose. Blend it out just a little bit, but I'm not bringing it out like the blush. I just love the way that looks. And then I think for the summertime, freckles. Some days I do like that really like natural freckles, or other days I just put little spots. Freckles by Pseudolab. Comes with a little stick right here. Bully. It spritz like this. Grab that and just spread it around. I go in with the end of the stick. One row. Boom. Boom. Play around with it. I pick it up so that it looks more natural too. Lips, I change it every day. Some days I want it more pink, some days I want it more nude. This is Bookworm by ColourPop. Really light pink, but I just love the way it looks on my lips, especially over that tint, so that my lips don't look too pale. So that's that combo, which I really like. And then once that dries completely, this is where I would curl my lashes. In real life, there's more life to it. Like I look warmer, the blush is a little more pink. I don't know if it's picking up. You can see that my skin looks really natural and I just look fresh and awake. If you have any questions, I am here to answer them, so.